So this is how I built a $100,000 a month HVAC AI agent from scratch. Now, there's four main bottlenecks that we want to solve within all of this. That is solved very well with our full AI system. Number one is consistent lead flow. Number two is unqualified leads. Number three is slow follow-ups. And number four is missed calls. These are four of the most common bottlenecks that we see in HVAC and home service businesses. And we're going to solve each one of those with our pillars of our AI system. So how this works, it's going to look something like this. We have our AI ad generator, which goes into our AI qualification, which goes into our AI nurturing, which then goes to our customer support. So this is how our full AI system is going to work, and I'll go through each of these for you guys. So the first pillar we're going to look at is the AI ad generator. Now, how does this work? We have it down in two main things. Number one is the script, and number two is the video, because we're going to be making full ads within this. So to make the script first, what we're going to do is we're going to generate scripts for the ads in Claude. Now, if you guys don't know what Claude AI is, I talk about Claude a lot on my channel, but basically it's like the ChatGPT specifically for copy, right? This is your world-class copywriter all in an LLM. So all you're gonna do is ask Claude some prompt like this. Now, I'm not gonna read this all, but you guys can screenshot this, you guys can share this, whatever. But, create a psychologically engineered ad script for whatever, your service is that converts viewers into customers. Blah, 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 go through this. Now, a little side note for this, and some sauce specifically from the people who are running this aren't gonna tell you, right? You're only gonna see this here. But you can also ask it to create it from a storytelling perspective, where basically it's a testimonial style in which a woman, and you want to use a woman because feminine imagery does work better, and basically telling her how her friend had X problem and your business, right, Y business, said how good they were, right, and just giving good reviews on their business. Because at the end of the day, people buy with people. People don't necessarily buy with words on a screen, at least better than they do with people. So that's a little sauce there. And you have hundreds of scripts to use, right? This is just like ChatGPT. You can use it as many times as you want. I think there's a limit, but regardless, you'll get very high quality scripts, especially if you use this template that you can use for our videos. Now, what we're gonna do for the video is we're gonna create AI UCG videos through HeyGen. Now, before I go into what HeyGen is, again, I just want to preface that people connect with people, right? What we're doing here, we're creating AI user-generated content. So this is going to look exactly like a real person who's talking with this, because people connect with people. So now what HeyGen is basically, you're just going to type a script, and then you're going to choose a HeyGen avatar and voice. Now, there's hundreds and thousands. There's thousands of different avatars and voices that you guys can use. You guys can play around on this. I'm actually going to create a HeyGen tutorial here soon, but it's pretty easy to navigate, right? You're just going to create video, select your avatar, select your voice. Then from that, you're just going to plug in the scripts that you got from Claude when you used this prompt. So once you plug in the scripts from there, you're just going to use the video and the actor and the voice that you're going to use, and it's going to make the actor say it. So this is a real ad that me and my team have ran, and this is an example that you guys can kind of know how it works. So it's going to look something like this.
HVAC and roofing owners doing over $50,000 monthly. This is for you.
Now, once you have these videos, what you're going to do is you're just going to edit it with basic B-roll and transitions. The reason we do that, right, is to just have those, those ads eye-catching, those ads appealing for Facebook that are going to be proven to convert. And then from there, you just post them onto Instagram and you post them onto Facebook, right? Meta ads, it's going to do everything for you. Now, from there, it solves our first problem we talked about up here, which is our consistent lead flow. So that's how we're going to solve that. The next one we're going to solve is unqualified leads with our AI qualification. So from there, we are going to have solved our first problem and our first bottleneck, which is consistent lead flow, right? It comes down to consistent lead flow, unqualified leads, which we're going to touch on here next. But we've solved our first pillar, which is consistent lead flow. Now, because you're serious, because you're watching this, and I know that you didn't just click on this video just to see what it's about, but if you're serious about implementing this and learning how to implement this into your business, I'm dropping a free invitation in the link in the description. I'm only gonna let people know who's watching in this specific part of the video. That is basically just an exclusive AI community with other business owners. So if you don't know, I run Meshline. Meshline is the AI agency that I run. We have a community of the business owners that we work with. Just basically where you can learn to scale, where you can, learn your bottlenecks with AI, everything like that. Just a free community only because you watch this video. It'll be first link below in the description of this video, right? Join our exclusive AI community with other business owners for free, only because you watch this right now. So join that completely for free. But anyways, the next pillar we're going to go into is our AI qualification. So how our AI qualification works is it's going to run on what we call a double screening process. Now, how this works is we have the immediate screening and we have the confirmation. Now, I'll explain these and how these both work. But first, we'll go into the immediate. So how this works is basically it's going to be our qualification questions on the form. So the ads that we're going to run, we're just going to create a form on Facebook, very simple to do, but you're just going to ask the questions that you would normally ask a prospect when, seeing if they're an ideal fit. So, for you yourself could be, what's the budget you're looking for? What is it that, you want fixed? Is it an air conditioner? Is it your heating unit? Whatever that may be. And you're going to ask these on the form. Now, with the form, it has conditional logic. So what conditional logic is that if they answer, let's say budget's above $10,000, they'll be put to a lead. And then if they say their budget's zero, they'll be automatically disqualified so that you're not dealing with any tire kickers. So if the answer is Y, right, if the answer is something you don't want, they're disqualified. They won't even go through your sales process. Now, if the answer is X and they are qualified, then it's going to continue into the next set of questions, which does the same thing. So if it's good after that, it continues. If it's not, disqualified. Pretty straightforward on how that works, but that is how we filter out people before they even get into our process. And that makes sure that every single lead is qualified right off the bat, which is very important within this. So now, after the immediate screening is done, we're going to go into confirmation. Now, how confirmation works and what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to utilize our AI caller. Now, what we're going to use to create this is SynFlow. Now, if you guys are not new to my channel, you'll know how much I talk about SynFlow. But basically, right, it's basically like the HeyGen for AI callers. Now, to set this up, you're just going to connect it to Go High Level. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on this in this video. I actually do have a SynFlow tutorial, 30-minute SynFlow tutorial, and how to set up everything. But it's pretty easy to do. There's native integrations within the two, but you're just going to connect it to Go High Level. And then it's going to call the leads as we go through our workflows. Now, I'll explain these workflows, but first thing I want to preface is there's two reasons why this is so effective. Right? At the end of the day, we're getting an AI caller to call someone. Whoop-de-doo. There's two reasons why this is so effective and what we're utilizing. Number one is speed to lead, and number two is the intimate connection. Now, the first one, which is our speed to lead, is my personal favorite within all of this, right? Within this whole system, this is the backbone, and this is why it works so well. So what the speed to lead is that we're going to be able to contact our leads within the first 60 seconds every single time. Now, just some statistics here. If you can contact the lead within the first 5 minutes that, they first opt in, that they first show interest, you're going to have a 391% more chance to convert than if you didn't. And this is a study from MIT Business specifically. As you can see, after a minute, you're at 400%, means you're 4 times more likely to get this person to pay for whatever service that you're doing. Or even 2 minutes, it drops in half. So we're going to be able to do a sub 60-second response time every single time with this AI caller within SynFlow hooked up to Go High Level. Now, within that, what that means is 391% more clients, 391% more sales, and then you get 95% of your time back, right? Because you're not the one doing these calls. Everything is going to be automated sub 60-second every single time. And that's the power of our system, which is only the first pillar. Now, the second pillar why this is so effective is the intimate connection. Now, what do I mean by intimate connection? What I mean is that, again, people connect with people. Now, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but this is so important within all of our system. People connect with people, right? And it gives us actual confirmation on what the leads filled out. So there's two ways that this can happen. One is that the lead actually fills out information that they didn't mean to fill out. And two, if they're faking, they're not going to lie, or they're going to be way less likely to lie to a human-like AI caller to their face and say, yes, everything I said was true. And at that point, they're probably just trying to sabotage you. You probably have enemies, which is not good. But that is the two main pillars on why this is so effective. And within that, in turn, you're going to eliminate all of your unqualified leads, right? We're not just going to have one thing that gets rid of them. We're going to have two within the whole entire system. So that solves our second problem, which is the unqualified leads. Now, our third pillar of our AI system and the third part of our AI system is AI nurturing. Now, how this works is it comes down in simplicity to two main areas. Number one is appointment setting, and number two is reminders. Now, how appointment setting works is there's two ways we're going to do this. Number one is through the AI caller, and number two is through the AI messenger. Now, we'll go through the AI caller first, and basically, we're going to use this in two specific instances. Number one is the confirmation call that we're going to give, right? The one that I just explained, not going to go through this again, but the confirmation call when these leads fill out the information that makes them become a good prospect for a service. Now, the second time we're going to use this is for leads that don't book. Now, this is a whole new area of your business that we're going to utilize with this, right? Not necessarily your business, but a whole new area of potential things that you're missing out on that we're going to do with this AI. So when they don't book, basically what this means is that they opt into the ad, but they don't book, right? They don't book on your calendar. They don't book a free consultation, whatever that may be, but they do opt in and they showed interest and gave us their information. Now within that, all we're going to do is set up automations within Go High Level to reach out if they don't book. And that's what I talked about up here with connecting our SimFlow to our Go High Level. But we're going to set up workflows that'll make this automatically, go forward, which will make this automatically work. So how we're going to do that in simplicity is we're just going to create a new prompt and agent for appointment setting. So basically how this is going to look in just kind of like a whole thing is the agent's going to ask like, hey, I saw you opted in, but you didn't book a call. Did you find what you were looking for? Right? It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but that is going to increase our conversions of people who opted in but didn't book that call for whatever reason. So you're just going to create that in SimFlow. Again, I created the SimFlow tutorial. If you guys want to watch that, check it out on my channel. But going to connect SimFlow to Go High Level, integrate the calendar. Again, very simple to do native integrations. And then the AI caller will in turn book all of your inbound calls directly into your calendar, right? Not just inbound calls, but outbound calls as well, as we're talking about right here, right? The people that don't book, we're going to send them on the outbound calls and they're going to book directly into your calendar. So that is how that is going to work for the AI caller side of it. Now, for the AI messenger, because this is another big area and this is another big thing that we can implement to increase your conversions. So what we're going to do here is we're going to send personalized messages to each prospect in three separate ways. So number one is for leads that don't self-book, right? Just like for the AI caller, for leads that don't self-book. Number two, for canceled and no-show reactivation. So, similar to the ones that don't book, basically, we're just going to create those workflows, right, for people who cancel or don't show up. Then number three is initial question answering. So I'll explain how these work, but basically, this is all going to come down to one single thing on Make. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Make, it's basically like a playground that you can make AI agents in. And this is the one that we use. This is the exact Make that we use. If you guys want access to this, by the way, you can book a free call in the link in the description of this video. First link, if you guys want to see this in action. But basically, this is going to utilize everything within all of our channels. So you can think of, let's say, Instagram. You can think of Facebook. You can think of Messenger, text, emails, calling, anything like that. This Make AI agent is going to send personalized messages with all three of these things when all three of these things happen. Now, this is very similar to SimFlow in the aspect of connecting it. All you're going to do is connect it to Go High Level. It's pretty simple to do, not as simple as SimFlow, but all you guys are going to do is connect that. then you're just going to put it into the workflows and it's automatically going to execute. Again, when they don't self-book, when they cancel or they don't show up, or if they send, a question to you in any channel it is, the AI is going to respond every single time. So I hope that wasn't information overload for you guys, but that is how we're going to use our AI messenger, our AI caller, to solve the appointment setting side of this. Now, the second one we're going to go over is the reminder side of this. So this is a whole new area, right? This is a whole new thing in the business that we're going to utilize and automate with this AI. So basically, we're going to send automated reminders and follow-ups. And to do that, we're just going to make workflows for the reminders and for the follow-ups. So this is all going to be done, again, on Go High Level. But things like appointment reminders and any other kind of reminders too, right? Like your business may be a little bit different than other people's businesses and how they run their systems. But any sort of reminders, you're just going to create that within Go High Level. And within the workflow, you're just going to set the trigger as customer booked appointment. And then from there, right, you can wait 1 minute, send the first email, wait 6 seconds, send your first message. And then from there, right, the messages are going to be sent out every single time, automated. The reminders will never have a chance to miss, anything like that. And you can remind the prospects in any frequency or time limit you want. You can remind them for 1 minute, every single minute of the day. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that, but a very common way to do this, and you guys probably do this similar to your business, but 24 hours, 3 hours, and then 1 hour, and the link to the call, right? If it's a visual, if it's a online consultation, whatever that may be, but you guys kind of get the point, right? You can create these reminders within itself. Now, one thing that I don't want to get confused here is that we're not going to use our omni-channel text AI agent. Now, why are we not going to do this? Because simplicity is key here. At the end of the day, you're just going to keep these reminders as simple as possible, right? You don't need to customize this specifically for, the person, whatever that is. You're just going to keep the reminders as simple as possible. Now, within that, you're never going to let a lead slip through the cracks again, right? Whether that be from mixed reminders, whether that be from if they don't show up, if they canceled and you didn't send out anything to try and get them back in, anything like that, a lead is never going to be able to slip through the cracks again. And in turn, that solves our third problem, which is slow follow-ups, right? This can be a killer for businesses. At the end of the day, if someone's AC is broken, they're not going to wait for you to respond. They're going to talk to Joe down the street if you don't do it quick enough. So that solves our third problem of slow follow-ups. So our next pillar and our final pillar of this full AI system is customer support. Now, how this customer support is going to work is it's going to come down to two main areas. Number one is the website, and number one is all of your other sources. And you'll see how each one works and why these are so specifically different. But we'll look at the website first and how this works. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to use Synflow to create an AI website chatbot that basically is going to act as, like a full-time receptionist on the website. So if you guys have ever seen the question mark at the bottom of a page, so at the bottom, something like this, right? Help and resource, whatever that may be, talk to someone. This is basically what we're going to be creating. Now, what we're going to do is just create a widget like this where people can call our AI agent, and all you're going to do is just give it your knowledge of the business, right? Anything that basically a receptionist would need to know to give educated responses to inquiries that people are giving. And then from there, you have your full customer support, right, 24/7, just on your website. And this is from a phone call as well. So you're going to be it's going to be like talking to someone automatically. So that is how we're going to set up with the website. Now, for all the other sources, because this is obviously different, you're not going to set up, a chatbot on an email, right? That doesn't work as efficiently as you'd like it to. But for all of the other sources, basically how this is going to work is we're going to use Make to use basically our omni-channel text AI. So you can do this for cancels, you can do this for no-shows, for these that don't book, but you can also do this just as a general, customer support, right? Just as a general question inquiry handler, which we said, up here in one of the three areas that we're going to use it for, right? Initial question answering, which comes down to our customer support side of this. So things like texts, emails, phone calls, right? Some other things too here, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just like I explained earlier in the video, but basically anywhere where people can text you, anywhere where people can, start a conversation, we can create text agents specifically for that channel that is going to nurture that lead, that is going to ask all those questions and just have the highest chance to convert those people, right? You're going to build that trust, you're going to build that speed to lead, everything like that. And not to mention, this is going to reply educated and sales efficient every single time, right? This isn't like the AI is going to forget. We're going to set it up specifically so that it has all of your knowledge of the business. We're going to tell it, act as a receptionist in this setting, and it's going to act, as the best receptionist you ever had 24/7, always knows what to say, everything like that, right? So you guys kind of get the point within that. It's your full stack customer support, and it's going to give that educated response every single time, 24/7 too, right? If the lead comes in at 2 a.m., the AI is gonna answer it. If 2 leads call in at the same time at, let's say, 5 p.m., the AI is still going to answer it. And that is the beauty of the system. And that solves our last pillar, which is AI, right? That solves our last bottleneck, which is AI. Now, within all of that, right, with our full AI system, all of the problems are solved, right? To bring this back into perspective for you guys, consistent lead flow is solved through our AI job generator. Unqualified leads are handled with our AI qualification. Slow follow-ups are handled with our AI nurturing and follow-ups. And then missed calls are handled from our customer support. So within all of that, every single aspect of your business is automated with AI, right? I like to refer to this as the bridge from A to Y. This whole system is the bridge from A to Y. Other people just give you a brick. This is the full bridge, with all Z being is you closing that deal, right? You doing what you do best, which is going in and closing that deal. Now, within all of that, you have all of the steps to build one for yourself and for your business, right? You saw everything. You saw how we solved every single one of those bottlenecks, and in turn, make loads of extra money completely on autopilot, right? Just going back to the MIT business study, you have 400% more conversion on leads, right? 391% more clients, 391% more sales, and 95% of your time back because this is all automated. Now, if everything is still confusing and you don't know where to start, right? If this was kind of information overload and you want to implement this into your business, you can book a free strategy call with me and my team where we go in-depth step-by-step in how we can implement this into your business, unique and personalized. This is a big thing, right? I give you guys the general surface level stuff on how to create this specifically and unique for your business. You can hop on the free strategy call with me and my team. All that is, first link below in the description of this video, just description of this video, book it completely for free. So within all of that, you have everything to gain, right? Even if you just walk away with the loads of free value that me and my team are going to give you afterwards, you have nothing to lose, right? This is life-changing value. AI is the next big thing. If you're watching this, you probably have a good idea about that. Completely free call for, an hour of your time for life-changing value. I think it's a no-brainer. But with that being said, click the link below, book your free AI strategy call with me and my team. We hope to see you guys on the call. And above all, we hope that you and your business crush it in 2025 with AI.